Good afternoon, everybody. My name is David Lozano, and I am the Executive Artistic Director of Academy of Theater in Dallas, Texas. And welcome to the Actors Tools for Calming the Mind, Part 2. And we're going to advance a little bit. This is our third week out of the past 5 weeks for us to present this free online course at noon on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so we're going to take it a little step further. We're going to take it even further from what we did on Tuesday. So I really want to thank you for joining us today. Again, my name is David Lozano. I am the Executive Artistic Director of Academy of Theater, and this is the free online class, The Actors Tools for Calming the Mind, Part 2. We will have Part 3 coming up. I don't have those dates on me, but be on the lookout, and we will be sure to announce them. So let's go ahead and wait a few moments for people to check in. I'm going to log into the event myself so that I can look at comments. I'm still struggling with some technical difficulties here. For some reason, my camera does not want to work on Facebook Live. So here we are. And as you join in, please leave a comment and let us know. Say hello. Let us know how you're doing. Here we go. Okay, I am all set over here. So I think I've run into some issues. I've been taking Facebook off my cell phone and all social media off my cell phone, and just so I can just release myself of all of those obsessions going on with social media. So it's allowed me to center quite a bit. This class is part of a series of online programs through Academy of Theater that we are integrating the arts and health. So we began a program called Stories That Heal that is led by Stephanie Tovar and Cheyenne Raquel Farley. And that is a powerful course in which people are going to share their artwork or art that they love. So it's for artists and arts lovers to share some art that is meaningful to them. And we're going to discover how the act of performing or sharing or creating is a path towards fulfillment and transcendence in times of crisis. In fact, it is embodied imagination, as Stephanie Tovar, the course leader, says. So it's a powerful course that began yesterday. The orientation was yesterday. However, we recorded it. So if someone is interested in taking the class next Wednesday, just send an email to info@academyoftheater.org and let us know if you'd like to sign up for that class next week. So for those people out there today, just say hello. Let us know you're here on the comment section, and we'll begin with the Actors Tools for Calming the Mind, Part 2, in just a moment. We have another course that is called Becoming a Light Unto Yourself and Others, which is led by the great Ernest McMillan, a legendary activist and community leader here in Dallas. And he will be interviewing 4 different people over the course of 4 sessions plus an orientation at the top. And he's going to be looking at people who are practice various spiritual practices from various cultures throughout the world. And we're going to learn about these inner resources that we access through these cultural traditions and spiritual practices, and how they can apply practically. For example, one of our guests is going to show how her work as a therapist and as a meditator can provide tools for a parent who is homeschooling their child and working. It's not necessarily going to be that specific on the needs, but she's going to discuss the application of meditation and therapeutic practices on how we can improve our peace of mind and skillful action while working at home. So that is one example. We will also speak with the owner of Pan African Connections, Akweti Tiani, who will also talk about the philosophy behind Ubuntu and the thinking of community based enterprises, and talk about what it means to be a business owner at this time. So these are it's going to be a course that is going to access the knowledge of cultural traditions and spiritual practices, but that are applicable to our everyday lives. So it's going to be an expansive program that is going to touch the spirit, but also allow us to learn practical skills. So I hope you can join us for that. That will start in about 3 weeks. Becoming a Light Unto Yourself and Others, led by Ernest McMillan. And please go to our website if you're interested about that. So let's go ahead and begin. So when we begin this process of calming the mind, it's really the mind is one aspect of what I consider to be the three foundational building blocks of the performer, which is the mind, the body, and the emotions. And so, like yoga, we are going to seek to cultivate a union between the mind, body, and the emotions. So, the first thing that we do when we gather together in rehearsal, we'll stand or sit in a circle, and we'll ask every person in the group to share what we call a bhava, which is the flavor of the moment. So, basically, each person is going to say how they feel in this moment, in this space. So I'm going to invite the people who are watching online to share your bhava, which is Sanskrit. So I'll share mine. I'm a little frazzled, I have to admit. I was rushing to kind of situate the technology for this class. So, but I'm present and I'm looking forward to the class. So again, I invite the people online to share how you feel. Um, you may have been working, you may have been shopping or working with your children. Um, just tell us how you feel at this moment in the space. So that is how we begin. We share the bhava that we are all experiencing as individuals, and that becomes a way of putting truth into the space so that we begin genuine communication among the ensemble of actors. Then, as the ensemble will stand and will begin preparing for the work, I'm going to ask people to make the transition from where they came from to the present moment. Again, you may have been working, you may have been rushing from the grocery store, you may have been working, may have been homeschooling your child. Just to make the transition from where you came from, releasing the grip of your preoccupations with wherever you came from, and make the transition into this space in this moment in time. And bring your attention to your body in this space in this moment in time. So I just had the impulse to take a nice deep breath. As I guide my mind to allow me to become more present, I have the impulse to take a nice deep breath, to breathe in any tension and breathe it out. I relax a little bit more, but I also create more breathing capacity, which is important for us when we're seeking presence. I want to thank the folks who have commented. Angela, our good friend Angela, like me, earlier this morning, feels tired. Very good to recognize just the truth of where you are mentally, physically, and emotionally. Deborah feels rushed, pulled in different directions. Like me. So it's an opportunity to release that preoccupation and bring your mind back to the present moment. Itzel, hello, thanks for the talk. So good. So we've made the transition from where we came from, bringing our attention to our body in this space, in this moment. So we're going to begin with what I call level 1 of awareness. With level 1 of awareness, we're going to bring our attention almost entirely to ourselves. Again, as I brought my attention to my own body, I had the impulse to take a nice deep breath. I essentially was breathing in any tension and I released it as I exhaled. So it's a good practice to do it when you have this impulse and to do it periodically. I would avoid doing it regularly in consecutive deep breaths because you could increase your heart rate. But a nice deep breath allows us to center, release tension as we guide our attention to our bodies. Good. I want you to allow your attention to go to your bottom that is touching the chair you are sitting on. Observe the parts of your bottom that are making contact with this chair. Literally feel those parts of your body touching the chair. And if other parts of the body are touching other parts of the chair, maybe your back is leaning against the chair, your arms are resting on the arms of the chair. Observe whatever is touching the chair. Now bring your attention to your feet. I've taken off my flip-flops, and I can feel the soles of my feet touching the floor. So I bring my attention to the soles of the feet, the parts of my feet that touch the floor. And sometimes part of this process is letting go of the need to control the circumstances or the conditions. So even though I am guiding my mind intentionally to different parts of my body as I scan these different parts of my body, the world goes on around me. Clearly, I'm looking for a peaceful and secluded area in my home, but there are roofers on the roof of my condo. My wife is in the house. So when things happen, it doesn't bother me. I can release any tension or desire to control these external circumstances. What I can do is I can gently guide my attention or redirect my attention if I'm distracted and bring it to these prompts. And as I return to presence, I have the impulse to take a breath. I breathe in tension and I breathe it out, also creating breath capacity. Now I want us in our mind's eye to visualize our skeletons. Let's begin with the skeletons of our feet. We observe the skeleton of our feet in our mind's eyes. We raise our view to the ankles, the fibula, the kneecaps, femur, pelvis, And even just guiding my attention cultivates presence and compels me to release even further any tension I've been holding on from a different moment in time that is not here and now. So it's a practice of guiding attention and releasing tension and becoming aware of my body. I guide my attention to the pelvis and my spine and each of the vertebrae that are stacked one on top of the other. So I allow my vertebrae to be stacked one on top of the other to make a nice tall spine. And when I say a tall spine, I'm not asking you to tense your spine so you can extend and lengthen it through tension, but that you can stack it in an upright manner so that you can create more breathing capacity, an uplifted torso naturally by stacking these bones. And follow this upright spine through each of the vertebrae, through the neck and the skull. Cleansing breath. And be sure to just exert the strength or energy necessary, the minimum strength and energy necessary to hold your spine upright. So the spine is like a coat rack, a nice tall coat rack with as little tension as possible held upright. We're going to sustain this upright spine and this coat rack as we go to the next step. I'm going to ask you to release tension in your muscles from the crown of your head, your forehead, the back of your head, your eyebrows, like wet coats on a coat rack, which is your spine. So release tension from the crown of your head, through your forehead, the side, the back of your head, your eyebrows, your eye sockets, your sinuses, your jaw, your neck, and the vocal cords, your shoulders, your chest, heart area, upper back, diaphragm, still sustaining this nice upright spine, the midsection of your back, stomach, abdomen, lower back, waist, pelvic region. Checking in that your breath is natural. Releasing tension in your pelvic region, thighs, knees, calves, ankles, and feet. So we've identified a nice skeleton that is, the bones are neatly connected and your spine is nice and upright, exerting as little energy or strength necessary to hold yourself nice and upright. And your muscles, as you scanned and release tension from the crown all the way down to your feet, you have what we're looking for as the vessel for a performer, which is releasing any unnecessary tension and only engaging what we need to. Now check in with your emotions, whatever they may be. You don't have to correct them or fix them. Just let them be. Let them circulate. They're not permanent. As one of my mentors says, emotions are like a liquid. Emotions flow. They can dissolve and evaporate. So just to let the emotions, whatever they are, be there and release your grip on them. You may need to take a breath. Let go of any thoughts of the future, any thoughts of the past, and any preoccupations of the present. And bring your attention to this body. Acknowledge these emotions in this space, in this moment in time. Good. Gently observe your breath, your natural breath. I often think that we work too hard. We make our breathing work too hard when we're maybe practicing yoga or doing other things. Right now, just allow yourself to observe the natural cycle of breath. You naturally breathe in till you do not breathe in any longer. Without trying, you simply breathe out till you do not breathe out any longer. It's like a Ferris wheel. So observe this cycle of breath. If you get distracted by thoughts, release the grip on those thoughts and gently bring your attention back to the breath. If the thoughts involve an emotion, you can acknowledge the thought, acknowledge the emotion or feeling. And being very patient with yourself, bring your attention back to your breath. This is a basic form of meditation. You can practice this for 5 minutes, 15, 20, observing your breath, observing a distracting thought, releasing your grip, and gently bringing it back. The thought involves emotion, recognizing the thought, recognizing the emotion, and patiently bringing your attention back. Good. So this is level 1 of awareness of ourselves. So we're going to do what I call moving our present, which means that we are going to move for a moment, but you're going to move your present. So you're not going to precipitate your movements or let your mind get ahead of you. Just simply follow the actions of allowing yourself to find a standing position. And it's what we call moving our present. Okay? So I'm going to move my computer and then find a standing position. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to be a little bit more agile. We're standing. Observe the soles of your feet. I think I need to step further back. Ah, here we are. This is good. Observe the soles of your feet that make contact with the floor. Observe the skeleton of your feet. Observe your skeleton from your feet through your fibula, kneecaps, femur, pelvis, spine, vertebrae stacked one on top of the other, through the neck, skull. Nice and upright. Your skeleton is tall like a coat rack, and your muscles fall like wet coats on a coat rack. from the crown, head, face, neck, vocal cords, shoulders, chest, diaphragm, midsection of your back, stomach, waist, lower back, pelvic region, thighs, calves, ankles, and feet. Check in with your emotions, whatever they may be. Observe your breath. Letting go of any thoughts of the past, the future, or preoccupations of the present, releasing your grip on them and guiding your attention back to your body in this space, in this moment. Maintaining this awareness, I'm going to ask you to begin rubbing your palms of your hands together, and feel the sensations of them. Begin massaging the backs of your hands and fingers as well. So just massage and warm up and feel the details of the sensations of massaging your fingers and your hands. And again, being present may compel you to take a nice deep breath to release any tension, create breath capacity, and become more present. And then when you're ready, only when you're ready, begin massaging your wrists and your forearms, breaking up tension. And again, it's solemn, so you can stand as you wish, but just avoid hyperactive movements. Continuing to massage in your biceps, your triceps, warming up your body, breaking up any tension. Going to your shoulders and giving yourself that shoulder massage that you wish people would sneak up on you and give you. Take your time. If you want to stay here longer, if you feel you need it, go ahead. I'm going to move on. I'm going to move to my neck. Breaking up any tension, squeezing a tense neck, and breathing it out. Gently massaging my neck. The muscles below my collarbones that become tense, my chest, the area of my heart center, diaphragm, my stomach, lower back. And I'm moving a little bit to further open up. I'm even opening up my legs so they don't lock, and maybe even slightly bending my knees. Whatever my movements are, they're not from hyperactivity, but from listening. My body is telling me it wants to loosen up a little bit more, so I give a little bit of flex to my knees. Move my thighs, move my hips a little bit, but again, not because I tell you, but because you sense it. So I take this massage down from my waist, down to my butt, my pelvic area, my thighs. As you can see, I just rolled my shoulders to loosen up even further. My knees, ankles, feet. So I find myself in a forward bend, but I'm going to come up. I'm going to roll up from my bottom vertebra all the way to the top, and then my neck and head is up last. So I'm going to ask you to go into a forward bend, but I want you to make sure that you are careful with yourselves. If you feel confident, go ahead and do as at the pace that I'm doing it, but also just check if you haven't done one in a long time, maybe in years. Just be very careful about it, okay? So I'm going to let this forward bend, I'm going to lead with my forehead as my forehead comes down. My knees do not lock. Slight bend. I bend from my tailbone down through my spine, letting my spine be free and long. My shoulders are free and long. My arms hang. My neck is free and long. If necessary, I breathe in any tension.
and exhale and release tension. I'm going to count 3 breaths. I'm going to drop my butt, press my feet against the floor, and roll up from my tailbone through each of my vertebrae all the way up to my neck, and my head is last. Good. I'm going to shake out my wrists and hands, elbows, shoulders, knees. I'm going to move everything around. Okay, good. So let's just also extend up, excuse my belly button, hands right up into the air. Extend my right arm into the air, trying to gently touch the ceiling. My left arm up into the air, gently trying to touch the ceiling, and then back down. Okay, this is the new step I'm going to add, and I know we're running out of time. But we're going to do this for the next couple of minutes. This is what we call the details. The details. Just move your fingers. Now the wrists. Make circles with the wrists. Your elbows. Make circle gently, very gently. Make gentle circles with the elbows. You don't have to make big ones, just move them. Lift up the shoulders, drop them. Make one circle with one of the shoulders. Go the other way. Other shoulder, make one nice circle. Very gently. Everything is gentle. But you know your own body. Okay? Very gently make circular motions with your head leading other direction. Good. Hips. Gently slide them from side to side. It's very gentle. But again, these are detail. Gently slide them forward and back very gently, not very far. Make a nice small circle with your hips. And again, we're moving our presence, so we're still observing this body with this nice skeleton, these muscles that are nice and released and relaxed, and whatever emotions or inner life we have are here. I'm going to step back very gently, just rotate your knees. Keep breathing. Rotate your knees the other way. Okay? And very gently rotate your ankles. You don't have to lift them as high as I am. Rotate in one direction. Rotate in the other. Other ankle. You don't have to lift them this high. Rotate the other. Now lift the arches of your feet and your toes in the air. Lift them up. And bring them back down. Good. So we've taken it a step further. It is we've gone through the details of movement in this last segment. But if we review, we'll review the level one of awareness of our body, creating a union with our mind, body, and emotions. Then we observed our breath. Then we came to our feet, observed what we call the line of gold, which is we observed the skeleton, released tension in our bodies, made sure our skeleton was nice and upright, creating a vessel that can carry any flowing emotions that exist, any inner life. Then we massaged with very aware attention through all of the muscles through our body. We'll usually touch our face, but since we're not doing that right now in our world because of different things we may be touching, I did not do that, but that's what we would do as an acting troupe. We massage our whole body, further release tension, forward bend, extending arms into the air, and then we move through the details rather quickly. The next time we do this in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be sure to measure the time or maybe extend the class. Maybe you can let me know if extending the class is helpful. So we basically went through those 4 steps, which is the relaxing and the creating the union of the mind, body, and emotion seated. Then we went to the observing our breath, which is essentially meditation. Standing, creating the line of gold, and massaging our body. And then we went into the details of the body, essentially the articulators, joints. Okay, so those are 4 things that we did today, and I want to thank you for joining us. My name is David Lozano. I'm the Executive Artistic Director of Academy of Theater. As we leave, please check out and leave a comment and share what we call your bhava, which is Sanskrit for the flavor of the moment, how you feel in this moment and in this space. So just leave a comment on how you feel as we check out of this class. And let me know, actually, if you would want a few more minutes so we can take our time going through these steps. I've been trying to keep it to 30 minutes, but it's been challenging as we add on, because I feel the need also to take us very consciously through each of the steps, especially the opening steps of cultivating the union of mind, body, and emotion. So I'm going to take a seat just to share my bhava and say a few words. But it would be great to hear how you feel. And if you're just joining us, once we shut off this live video, it will be recorded, and you can join the full class. You can observe the full class. So my bhava is I feel great. I feel better than I did before I started. I was able to further release tension in my body, loosen up a little bit more, and become more present and at ease, and feel good about my own body and how I feel right now. I do. I must admit, I regret losing a little bit of track of time, because I was spending so much time on the opening section, but so I moved rather quickly through the final section. So I regret that. Let me know if time is an issue. If you would like to extend the time of the class, or if you would just like me to move a little bit more agilely. So I do want to recognize Itzel. I want to thank you so much for sharing your bhava. You feel grateful. I appreciate that. Jenny Sanchez, hola, hello again. Thank you so much for joining us again. So I want to thank you all for joining us for the Actors Tools for Calming the Mind. Deborah left a comment, feeling calm. Wow, terrific. Thanks so much. Looking forward to the next one already. And yes, works for me to extend a bit. I may be looking at least a 40-minute class this next time, just so we don't feel the need to rush. If that's too long for people, let me know, just so we can take stock of that. But again, I'm glad that people are experiencing this and enjoying it. Please spread the word. We will be off next week, but back in 2 weeks. And I look forward to that opportunity. So that will be the 2nd of June. Time is flying. So I want everyone to take good care and stay fulfilled and stay healthy. And please reach out to us at info@academyatheater.org, direct message us, or send me an email at david@academyatheater.org. Let us know what you think. If you have any suggestions, be on the lookout for our online courses that integrate the arts and health. Thank you so much. Have a great day.